Hey, singles, let's chat.
And we're back with another episode, and we're having my favorite topic, relationships.
Yay.
Bonjour.
Coventa ka Jake, I'm joking. Hi guys, good?
Good, good.
Good.
How are you?
Good.
Shana
Awesome.
Shay.
I did do that. Did do
Yay,
that.
yay.
So I'm gonna get straight into it. I think we've done enough introductions for people to know who we are. So I'll just ask you guys a question, then we get into it, right? What's your take on?
You're making me nervous.
No, it's not a bad question.
Okay.
Love at first sight.
Whew.
Okay, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take one for the team.
Okay.
I don't agree with it.
Chai.
You know why?
Why?
God, right? God knows us, and He loves us because He knows us.
Okay.
Right? So I don't think you can love someone without knowing them.
Okay.
I don't know.
At the same time, I do think that you can be attracted to someone at first sight,
Okay.
but you can't love them.
Okay, true.
Love at first sight, attraction at first sight, 100%.
Namruti?
Because, yeah.
How am I a mom routine now?
No, just
I think I believe more in love at first meetup than love at first sight. Because just by seeing you, I can't be in love with you. But
Yeah.
maybe once we meet up and we get to know each other, then I'll be like, he's the one.
Yes, man.
Kind of thing. Not at first sight.
you haven't met love.
Me, I've been in love, like love at
Multiple
first sight.
times. My sister.
Love at first sight a lot of times.
Multiple
Don't be
times.
ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
My
It
name is
happens.
Lavet Amraut, and I'm guilty of love at first sight. I'm sorry.
But I don't know, maybe give us context. What was it that made you love the person at first sight?
The way they looked, of course.
But you see, attraction, that's what I was saying.
Looks.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I hope you're not watching this. I mean, to the person I'm about to talk
Yeah.
about. There's a girl I dated. I don't want to say when, because then if I do say that, then it will be obvious who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like, I saw that girl for the first time, and I told my friend, I was like, that's
the
going to be my
one.
girl.
Ooh.
And she was your girl,
And she was my girl
but not for long.
for the longest time.
But I mean now.
Where is she now?
Really?
Ah.
Where is
The
she
reason
now?
why I'm saying this is because then what?
If really she was the one.
What's wrong
still
with
be
you
there.
guys?
To be honest with you guys, no, on a serious note though, like, I don't think love at first sight. I can understand being infatuated by someone
Yeah,
at first sight
true, yeah.
and being attracted to them, but love is deep.
Yeah.
Love is deep. Love is choosing to love someone irrespective of their flaws, and
Oh,
you can't
yes.
know someone's flaws until you get
You
to
get
know
to
them.
Know them true,
That's
yeah.
true.
You see, the
That's
same way
true.
that God does. Look, God looks at us, sees our flaws, and still chooses to love us. So how do you say you love someone and you don't know that they've got ugly feet, and you don't know that they, they have... We've got our audience laughing in the background. That you don't know that they
Wait,
have
wait,
a dirty
guys.
bedroom, you know? It's,
Would you fall out of love with someone because they have ugly feet?
no, it was just a random
There's,
example.
but then we have pet peeves. I'm sorry. I can. Like, but
My
not for
sister.
feet, but like gold tooth.
Ah, I
My
don't know how I feel
sister.
about this question. It's a
I
very
have.
tricky
I'm
one.
sorry. I can't.
I don't know about
can't.
falling out of love.
I
but-
do. I fall out.
falling out of
Very
love.
quick. As quick as you fall in love.
Yeah, as quick as
you
I fall in, I
out.
fall out. Shem. I don't want to lie.
And it's a
Yo.
good thing. Do you think it's
She
a good
says
thing?
a gold tooth. So
Yeah.
I think
Like the quickly falling out of love, that's what you're asking, right?
Yes.
Do you think it's a good
Do you
thing?
think it's a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I agree
I
with
also
you.
think it's
Yeah,
Bad habit,
because,
right?
because you see, that's another thing about love. To be honest with you, I don't think you can fall out of love with someone.
Yeah.
When you love someone, it's an ongoing thing, even when you're apart.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that
true.
is true love. That right there is true love. If you fall out of love with someone, you never loved them to begin with.
yo,
Hey, Shanda Yabasat.
So even your exes, the ones that you said you love, you probably still love them. It's just that
Oh, yeah.
you've chosen to live
That- yeah,
all
but
of
that,
them.
a
not
life
all
where
of
you
them.
can love
not all of them. Hey, please, let's...
But you told them that you love them.
Where at
You see,
that time.
exactly. But you've
I
told them
think
that
you
you
love
love
them from
them.
afar, man.
Yeah, it's that thing of
You love them from afar.
it's not everyone that you're in love with that you'll end up with.
I love them like I love my
100%.
neighbor.
Yeah.
And then our currents catch feelings when you tell them that I've loved this person, you know.
But
And they-
bro, personally, like, I can't date her for like the longest time, right? And now I'm in a relationship with you, and I'm still talking to her.
About the previous one.
Not just about the previous relationship, but just
in
even having
gen-
a relationship with her. Like what you're saying, that you still love the person.
Yeah,
It's just
you-
that
but from afar.
from afar, you understand? So now it's like you're with a person, but there's also something holding you back.
Oh, yeah. An anchor, Nyana
You know that one high from your ex that just changes your whole day? Like,
Yeah.
And rumbles your
Got very
entire
much-
you have to text me. You
Yeah.
understand?
10+4 vibes.
Yeah, you know.
I get you.
But moving right along, man, let's talk about self-love. I think one of the things we do in relationships is we neglect ourselves.
True.
And a lot of people think self-love is looking good,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not just that. It's
Yeah.
also knowing, am I supposed to be with this person? Is she right for me? Is this person right for me? So, I don't know. What's your take on that?
And okay, for me, self-love also, I've seen people get into relationships because they don't love themselves enough. So they want to get love from other people just to fill that void. So you need to love yourself enough that you don't need somebody to fill something inside of you. You're already enough. So I think that's what self-love is. Because we've gotten into relationships because we're in a shortage of something.
Ish.
And now because that person is filling that certain void that you feel like, okay, yeah, and then they become a lifeline for you. You don't want to fall in love with somebody to a point where they become a lifeline for you. You need to be enough for them to come into your life. So I think that's what self-love is.
And to be honest with you, I don't think that you are able to give love to someone adequately if you do not have love for yourself.
True.
Because honestly speaking, you know, when you don't have self-love, you end up accepting things that are not okay.
Yeah.
Like stuff that are just not normal.
You tolerate
So,
things.
like you just tolerate things that are.
tolerate things.
That's not self-love, and that on its own means that you are not giving love right enough to the next person. Because if you loved them enough, you would have said, "Listen, what you're doing is wrong.
True.
I can't." We've got an amazing audience here today. Yeah, you can't. What was I saying again? Oh, you can't say you love someone and not be able to call them out for something wrong that they do to you. If you love yourself enough, you'd be able to stop something that is wrong.
Yeah.
Because you love yourself enough.
True.
And love them enough.
True.
To stop it. Yeah.
I think it comes back to what we were talking about, that you can love someone, but if you love yourself, you then decide, okay, as much as I love her, she's not good for me.
Yes.
So you
Realizing
sh-
that.
Yeah, you should be willing to let that person go. Because, you know, you have to take care of yourself now. So, yeah, I think you need to be in a situation where you realize that you are not loving yourself first in order to exercise self-love.
Yes. Yes.
It's true.
We need to do a whole lot of self-introspection.
Yeah.
Just to check.
And notice how when you start loving yourself, because remember we project everything that we are within.
Yes.
When you start loving yourself, notice how everybody around you starts respecting you because of the constant choice of choosing to love yourself. If you constantly let your partner or your friends or your whoever, anyone in your family walk all over you because you don't love yourself enough, they will continue to do it.
Of course.
But the moment you choose to love yourself enough to eliminate yourself from it, you will obtain that same love from the next person.
Yeah.
I think as an opera who said, be so full of yourself to the overflow that people feed from the overflow.
Flow,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
I like that.
So you can't love someone if you don't love yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to love yourself first in order to love other people.
I've been in a relationship where I stopped loving myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, man. Right.
I think it's still healing.
and I didn't even know that I've
You were not
stopped.
aware.
Yeah, I was not aware. You know, everything was about her. Anything she says goes.
I just realized, but nah.
You were compromising too
I've
much.
also been in that.
I don't know.
I've been in that situation.
I've also been in that
been there as
situation.
well.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey,
I've
just
been
now
in
that I
that.
think about it.
That's why I'm saying you need to to realize that you're in a place where you're not loving yourself.
True.
In order to exercise self-love.
But you see that sometimes you lose yourself so much that you don't even realize that you are not
Exactly.
acting,
You find out
that you are not loving yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because you're
And
blinded
people
by
outside your
love.
relationship can see
They
it.
Yeah,
can.
and
tell
the thing is,
you.
they keep telling you, my brother, my sister,
Stay
Phuma
away.
kulo mood.
Yes.
But you think they're
Hi,
haters.
Nina.
I'm
He's
so
the
in
one.
love.
He's the one.
Clouded,
Oh
your
my
judgment
God.
is clouded when
By,
you're in
yes,
love,
by
man.
that whole thing.
I think so. Maybe
in a
there's
bubble, in a
Yeah,
way. You
I
need
think
to
your
pop it.
judgment is
It's a real
clouded.
thing, hey? Like, it's a real thing because I even neglected
You
my
pushed
own.
away people because of that.
A lot of people.
And you pushed away your dreams as well.
Exactly.
You
Like-
stop
like-
living.
Yo.
Literally. You live for the,
Yo.
for the other
The
person.
sacrifices that you make.
Because
And
of
trust me, it was not because she
Disobedient
forced me to do
sacrifices
that.
included.
Ish.
You thought that's what loving someone is.
Hey, Jesus.
No, yeah, like for
Is
me,
that-
it's not like
yeah.
she said, Ash,
Stop
do this,
loving
stop.
yourself.
No. It's me who thought, okay,
I need to.
I need to
You
do
also
this
not
because
aware that
I
what I'm
wasn't.
doing
I thought I'm loving
is
it the right way.
yeah.
You know, but when now we broke
Until
up, I'm
you
like,
were empty.
bro,
You
look
gave
at
so
myself.
much.
a lot of things, you know. So yeah,
I think that's the nice part about sometimes just when you get out of a relationship, not to say that that should be our norm, right? Hopping in and out of relationships.
Yes.
But in the season where you are single, like isn't like not married,
Yeah.
not in a courtship, not dating, really like spend time with yourself, understand who
Thank
you are.
that's
Get
very
to
By
know
the
important.
time that you
yourself.
get into the next relationship, you already know who am I, what do I stand for, this is how I give love, this is how I expect to be loved, and this is what I tolerate, this is what I don't
think-
tolerate. You know?
But isn't that what dating is? Being able to identify what you like and what
this
you
is where,
don't like.
This
Yeah.
is where I fight people.
Okay.
How many people are we gonna date to identify? Because
Yeah, hey.
remember, mind you, our dating is not we just getting to know each other, we're going to movies, etc. Our dating is we're gonna kiss, we're gonna do whatever people do when they're in
Explore.
a You understand?
Yeah.
So how many people do I have to explore before I get to the right one?
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Not a lot, Vel.
But also,
And you, yes, I had a season of my life. I think it was in like 2021. My sister is looking at me, recording the camera.
You were
because
dating
he
a
knows
lot.
this. Yeah, no, I was a serial dater.
My
I kid you
sister.
not.
How
I
was
kid you
life?
not. I was single and I wasn't like
Yeah.
embracing singlehood.
yeah,
You were not
yeah,
trying to
felt
be
like-
in a relationship as well.
No, I wanted to be in a relationship, but I wasn't doing it rightly. Like correctly, I mean. Like I was
Yeah.
just constantly looking for the next. And as soon as I see Guti, reflect, next.
Next, on to the
Wait,
next.
can I ask? Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
When you say you're doing a lot of dating, were you doing a lot of talking stages or you're actually dating the people?
So remember what I said in episode 1,
Uh-huh.
saying that there's a difference between dating and courtship.
Okay.
Dating is the one with no intention. So
Yeah.
in common terms is the talking stages. That's
There's
what
not
I believe.
really the kissing
Yeah.
and all those
Okay.
things.
Well,
It's
nowadays
just going
they
out
do
on
it.
dates.
Nowadays,
Yeah, they
it's
do
day.
in the talking
Yeah.
stages, eh?
I
Yeah,
know.
so
A lot goes down.
for me there's no intention in dating. We are still
We're just going on dates,
yeah,
getting to know each
we're getting
other.
to know each other, the talking stages. Courtship, there's clear intention.
Yeah.
This is what we are. We are a couple. This is where we are going. That's courting for me, right? And what I was doing was the dating. I got into so many talking stages, saying this with inverted commas. I got into so many
But is
talking
that wrong?
stages.
Can I say something?
But the
Nothing comes out of those things.
100%.
true.
100%.
Especially when you're having multiple talking stages.
Yeah.
I've been
Oh,
there.
you had multiple.
Yo,
Yeah.
my
Who you were
sister.
Nothing
to
comes
know.
out of
I had yo God.
Nothing.
Olele ba. You know?
Okay.
I had a lot.
Okay.
Can I say something? When I came out of my serious courtship, not even
This is where you were not exercising self-love.
don't say,
Oh, it's
yes,
another
yes,
one.
Yes, that's the same
Okay,
relationship.
okay.
Yes. I thought you were about to say some other thing.
Kanti kuningi.
Yo, I had
Kuningi,
a
my
lot
brother.
of talking stages, not because I wanted to be in a relationship, but because I wanted to heal from the previous.
You were using people.
I was using people.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, Bandla, the
Jeho.
poor girls really genuinely liked me.
caught.
You
They were
understand?
catching feelings.
And they were not
And when
ugly.
you were not
beautiful
there.
people in and outside. Then when it gets to time of, okay, let's take this to the next level, I'm like, nah.
I'm fine
Got
here.
you, man.
And
And you know
I'm
what
so
the
sorry,
sad thing
guys.
is?
but like,
I'm sorry.
apologize.
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
I'm
Actually,
like,
I'm so sorry.
And you know what the sad thing is that I low key, to some extent, I applaud you for being able to date someone and realize that maybe not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we hold it off for so
Yeah.
long and we just drag these people along without even realizing that we are hurting ourselves
True.
and could potentially hurt them. Not even potentially, possibly are hurting them because we are not certain about but whom?
What's
Ubonela
wrong?
man.
When?
But whom?
Podcast, one episode already.
No, I was even calling Karen. Yeah, I was putting down.
Check.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost my train of thought. But yeah, you can't drag people along, like tag
You
people
can't.
along.
It's very
You
wrong.
constantly have to evaluate
Very
if
wrong.
you really are intentional about getting to know this person. Not
But
because
are
you
we
like
not
the way they
all
look
guilty
next to
of
you.
that?
Hey?
Are we not all guilty of that? Using other people to heal at some point.
Yeah, we are.
And maybe sometimes you're not even aware. Then you
True.
realize.
Yeah.
I'm using-
But then also,
yeah.
speaking of self-love, we need to be okay with being alone. So I feel like most of us, we have a problem with
That's
being
so
alone.
true. That's so
That's
true.
when we start bringing in multiple people, like multiple friends. Was like we always want something to, like we always want to have somebody around. I've been in a space where I would even have panic attacks when I was alone. That's when I realized that no, something is wrong
serious?
with because you get to a point where you're so used to having people around that if you're not in a relationship, then you're with somebody. Like if I'm not with a friend, like or in a group space. Like
But
you're
isn't
never
it
alone.
maybe because you're an extrovert? Because extroverts feed off of other
No.
people.
It's
I think she's saying,
That's reliance.
Delivery.
Yeah.
she's saying she's
a
That's
spirit.
even,
reliance. Yeah.
I'm saying-
but
So-
she's saying friends as well,
No,
not
but-
just.
No, but what she's saying is
It's
she wouldn't
self-love.
find happiness in
in
being
being
alone.
alone.
Okay.
So that's the happiness element.
So
Yeah.
when the moment you become alone, you start having a problem with being that because
Yeah.
when you're alone, you start thinking too much.
Okay.
So now when you start loving yourself, that's the point where I had to get to. It took some time, yes, but then I've eventually sat down and I was like, okay, Laveta, why don't you want to be alone? What's so scary about being alone? And why do you want people to love you so much? Why can't you love yourself? To a point where you can even look at yourself in the mirror and like be with yourself.
Yeah.
Be complete with being
You always want affirmation.
of
from other
course.
people.
And I'm one person.
Seeking validation.
Yeah, you see.
Oh,
and
okay.
one of my love languages is words of affirmation. So
Oh,
unfortunately, if
okay.
you don't, we need to get to a point where those love languages, you need to speak those to yourself.
Oh, okay.
If you're a gift person, gift
Gift
yourself.
yourself.
And you see, that's another thing
Yeah,
about love
if you-
languages.
yes.
We want other people to be the ones to give us
do it for- do it
for
just for yourself.
ourselves.
Like if words of affirmation is your love language, stand in the mirror and say, "Girl, you are beautiful.
Exactly.
Girl, you are doing well. You know, Jen,
Validate
you look
yourself.
amazing behind the
Yeah.
keyboard."
Yeah.
Have
Okay.
quality time with yourself.
Did you really have to say that?
And have quality time with
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because
I hear you.
I feel like sometimes we're like, okay, whenever I'm alone, I'm just gonna sleep. No, like literally have quality time with yourself. Plan out your life. You know, we like asking people, what's your 5-year plan? But have you sat down with yourself for that?
Oh. You know, I thought it was a girl thing, like to just go on a solo date.
Yeah.
Until I did it.
And-
just
And
took
you had
my-
so
yeah,
much fun.
Yeah, like having my own meal, having a
Solo
book to
date.
read, and I was like, wow, this is
Solo
actually.
And you know what the
vibes.
funny thing also about love
You enjoy
languages
your own company.
is that because when you don't give yourself that love that you expect, right,
Yeah.
from other people, even when the next person gives you that love, that words of affirmation, it's still not
It's
enough.
never enough.
It's
It is
Still not enough.
never enough.
They give it to you wholeheartedly, but you still feel like ish but.
I want more.
Kushota. And you can't even pinpoint where it is.
Sure.
It's because you're not giving
You're
yourself
not giving
that
yourself
love.
that exactly.
Self-love, perfect.
You know, it's the problem is, you know, if we live a life half full, I get it. When somebody comes in, they just need to fill up from what you have.
Yes.
But then if you're empty, it's gonna be no one can fill you up.
But I disagree. I feel like your life shouldn't even be half full. Your life should be full.
Yeah.
When
Before
the next
anyone
person
comes,
comes, it
yes.
should be overflowing.
It should be overflowing.
Yeah, it can't, because what happens when they are gone? You are empty.
But
like,
what-
the other half of you is what?
What I wanted to trace
But there
it
are
back
people
to,
like that are like parasites.
oh yes.
Tell me
But
about
what
it.
I wanted to, what I also
They
wanted
will
to
empty you.
What I also wanted to trace it back to is that when you love yourself, you need to love yourself and also love God who is in you.
Yes.
Because now, when we the Bible says that Christ lives in us. So when I'm loving me, I'm loving all of me, not just parts of me. I'm even loving the Christ who is inside of me. So now if I'm not loving myself enough, that means I'm not even loving God. If I'm expecting other people to come and love me, that means I'm expecting other people to come and love God for me.
Yes. Love
Who is in my
that.
life.
Yeah.
So self-love must also go with God as well. That I love myself. I love God who is in me. I love everything around me. Like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, talking about this, right? Do you think you've ever been in a situation where you were with the right person, but you were the problem?
Yes, a lot of times.
Because I think we don't acknowledge that
Ish,
at times
we do.
we are the
We
wrong
are the
people.
problem.
I have acknowledged, which is why if I trace back all of my breakups, I honestly do acknowledge. Like I always
What
write
role you
I
played.
write a paragraph. I'm a paragraph breakup.
You're right.
Literally.
Paragraph breakup.
Yes.
Now I'm the voice
When you-
note one.
Yes, I'm a paragraph.
Guys.
I write a paragraph, and I even
Yo,
bless
guys.
you. I even write prayers for you at the end. 'Cause I'm that
my
person.
sister.
I'm like
I pray that God be with you.
Yes, I'm that girl. I'm like, I pray that.
Yeah,
yes,
but I
I'm like,
don't
I pray
write
God.
also.
I write it down. Literally, could be like, and I don't do WhatsApp messages. I want it to be a text message because I feel like it's.
SMS.
Yeah, SMS.
Ah.
I
I
feel
think
like
us as men have pride.
yeah.
As much as I know that I was wrong in the situation,
You'll never
Yeah,
I
you
would
never
never
admit it.
acknowledge it. And it's a wrong thing.
True.
But then
'Cause
that's
you'll
also
never
wrong
work on
because
it.
if you're not acknowledging it,
Yeah.
then you're not bettering yourself for the
Yeah.
next person.
That's
Even
And
if
to be
for
honest-
yourself.
To be honest, I appreciate people who send like paragraphs in a breakup. When I saw once, I saw, yeah, they read it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can look back at that.
Oh.
No, because think about it, Asha. You can look at it and be like, okay, so these, and you can pick up a trend.
Yeah.
That law uhlukane nami because of the same thing as this one. So this is a
Yes.
working
Flamme,
point
I'm
for
And I
the
me.
confess-
problem.
Yeah.
Almost every girl I dated,
Yeah.
they broke up with me because of one, okay, not one reason.
So you're the
So you're a
problem.
celebrity.
I know I'm the problem.
Because you're a celebrity.
Bro,
That's wrong. Asha, I know shit.
like, guys, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Let me be honest with you, right?
Yeah. It's a pattern.
Yeah, because I'm known out there, right?
Yes.
Asha has a lot of followers, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, when I
So,
He's a
no.
big deal.
Unashamed.
Guys. He's a big
So now it's a
deal.
thing where I didn't know how to put boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay.
like, because
You'd
I
let
mean-
everyone in.
Yeah, because I'm in a relationship, but I want to make Karen feel, welcomed. I'm not that person who, just because I'm in a relationship, I'm going to say,
I
"Hey,
don't
chill."
talk to girls.
You understand?
Okay.
So now,
No, don't
but
worry.
it was a thing, and I'm admitting to it. Like,
Yeah, people misinterpret
Have you
sometimes
changed
your.
though? Are you working
I haven't
on
been
it?
in a relationship. You were asking me those questions. Wait.
Too personal.
No, like what I'm trying to say is it's a thing that I had to acknowledge myself that this is so wrong because if my partner was to do the same, I don't think I would
You
have
would not
appreciated
appreciate
it, you know?
Yeah.
Which is why I'm asking that. Have you started setting those boundaries?
I have.
Okay.
I have. It's just that right now I wouldn't know because I'm not involved with
If it's
anyone.
good enough, you're
Oh,
not
yeah,
sure if it's
true.
good
Yeah,
enough. Okay.
but also sometimes it has nothing to do with me. I feel like a lot of people have their own insecurities.
Oh yeah, true.
They don't heal from their own past traumas.
Yeah.
Now, any little single thing that I would do would trigger them.
Yeah.
Yo, he's too known. Because there's a girl who literally confessed to me, and I really appreciate that girl. She was like, Ash, I can't date you because I know I'm insecure.
True.
Do you understand? But because when you're always out, going out to gigs, etc., you meet a lot of people, I don't think I would be able to be with someone like that because
yeah.
I'm always going to be insecure. She was real with herself.
Yeah, true. I also love what you touched on, triggers.
Yeah.
We need to work on our triggers as well. We need to be honest
Heal.
about what
need
triggers
to heal.
us
You
and
need to
heal
heal.
from that.
Which is now the second topic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Actually, I like the flow.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, triggers.
oh, yes.
So, you know what? Here's another thing. I honestly find that you become immensely attractive, more attractive when you've healed.
Oh, yes.
We downplay it. If you want to be attractive, mzalwane, heal.
Work
True.
on yourself.
True.
Yeah, because you project all these scars. I think in the analogy that I
guys.
make, like a scar, when you see it, it's unattractive. It's bleeding. And when you are constantly projecting that scar to people. You are bleeding on people. It's unattractive. It's not cute.
And you know this
And
thing
you
of-
expect people to be, you expect your partner to come and be Rafa in the relationship.
Yes.
He's not Jehovah Rafa. He's there to love you. Sekumele manje aloku abhiza athobana ney'londa zakho.
That's a realistic
Amen.
you know.
Yeah, like, so spend time healing. Don't hop into one relationship and into the next without actually working on your previous scars.
Can I ask something? What if, because this is something I feel like everything we're talking about is something I've been through.
Hey.
What if it's trauma that's coming from not anything that has to do with
I was
romantic
about to-
relationship?
Your
Yes,
childhood
I was
trauma.
Childhood
about- I was
trauma.
about- I was
Yeah.
about to
Right.
say that.
And I've reached a point where you're my partner and I'm comfortable
Yeah.
now to let it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Then how do we navigate that?
But you see, there's a difference between letting your partner know about what your childhood trauma is and triggers are, and actually projecting those traumas to her. Sometimes you wouldn't even know that you have a trigger or that your childhood
need to be
traumas.
self-aware.
Yeah,
You need to
don't
be
even know that
self-aware.
your childhood traumas are an issue to your character right now. And one about magala unomomanya for something small, because you don't. You know what I mean. So there's a difference between projecting and letting your partner know what your triggers are, so that you can navigate them.
If you know your triggers, it means you are self-aware.
Yes.
So there's an issue of we are not aware that I have this problem.
Yes.
yeah, true.
Maybe you grew up in a household where the parents, when they speak, they're always fighting.
Aish.
Yeah.
So, manja, you meet a guy, and whenever you're trying to address something, you fight.
Fight, true.
You fight.
Because that's your norm.
That's
That's,
what
your
you're used
childhood.
to.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what you grew up seeing. Guti, this is what a relationship is.
Is
Hey.
yeah.
So you are not aware, but then maybe your partner will let you know, why are you shouting?
Yeah.
And you see, that's the funny
That's
thing.
when you
see
realize.
we see with me, I grew up in a place where we don't address issues.
Oh.
Like, we would like just sweep things under
Under
the
the
carpet.
carpet,
Okay.
yes.
And generally speaking, in relationships, it's only now that I'm unlearning it. I would do that. As soon as I feel like someone is addressing something to me in a relationship, I'd feel like I'm being attacked because I'm not used to that. It's like, how? I'm just used to something happens, you know, we sweep it under the
True,
carpet.
true.
You know, and I'd feel attacked. I'd feel like, yo, and it would be a trigger for me, and I'd feel like, yo, this person doesn't love me. Why am I this so? But actually, it's just a childhood thing that I got used to.
Childhood trauma.
Yeah, that has now molded my character into something that isn't actually healthy.
Another important is when you're trying to talk to your partner.
What does that mean?
Don't shout.
Don't
at
shout.
Don't
at me.
shout at me.
Sometimes you're just trying to be, "Eish, okay." You
And
know
I'm
what,
like
we're
that,
gonna
I'm
take
tone
time."
sensitive.
Why?
Don't raise your voice.
And the thing is, you could be speaking with the most calm voice.
Yes.
Yeah, and
But the tone, I'm tone sensitive. You could be saying something, but it's the tone that counts.
Oh,
I'm tone sensitive.
How,
I'm really
guys?
tone sensitive. And
I'm so confused.
yeah, legit, it's a thing.
Hi,
It's a thing.
guys.
It's a thing.
How can my
And if
voice...
you find for you,
Yeah.
when you are really trying to be gentle,
Yeah.
But the tone.
but also
I'm
because of the
guilty.
trauma from not
Because
addressing
this
things.
is where us men are, like, this is what we're battling with, right? We always talking about submission. That's a very broad conversation. What is submission?
I
You
like
know?
that.
Because
Good question.
because submission is not yebo baba
Yeah,
bringing your
it's,
food doing this. Submission
Does it mean
is,
when you bully me, I need to submit to the bully?
no. It's not
Eh.
me
See,
bullying.
those are the
Submission
issues.
is you and I are gonna have an argument, but when we're done here, you're still gonna make food for me.
I disagree.
Why? Why?
I think submission in context of the Bible.
Yes.
So when the Bible says, for a man shall leave his family, blah, 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 it's talking about the wife leaving everything that she has been raised by.
True.
Yes.
Right? And that is a level of submission.
Yes.
So all these customs that you have grown to know by your parents, all of that, you are submitting yourself to a new family or a new person.
Cool.
And you are submitting your religion. You are submitting
Everything.
everything. I don't think it's and it's distorted because of the time that we are living in. I
That's
don't
true.
think it's necessarily pertaining to things that are like,
Arguments.
yeah, like uzongphekela, or I
Oh,
have the
yeah.
final say.
Oh,
or-
yeah.
No,
You know what I
not,
mean?
It's a
not in
bigger
that
picture
sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there are people who are just petty, like in relationships where like what we're talking about, you did something wrong. I'm trying to say, babe, this was wrong.
Yeah.
With no, don't shout at me. Hey, what. Now it's a whole thing.
Why are you shouting now?
No, I'm not shouting. I'm letting you know that what you did is not right.
wrong, yeah.
There's some people that when
So they're trying to discard what you're trying to address,
yeah, the
and
moment
then
you reprimand them, already they feel attacked.
Yeah, they don't
okay.
want to be confronted.
They don't want to
Yes.
acknowledge where they did
But
wrong.
you see, that's also another thing. It's a thin line. I hear what you're saying. It's a very thin line. Because in marriage, you actually submit to the leadership of your husband. And that is like spiritual leadership. That is fine. All of it, financial leadership. But that doesn't mean that I can't call you out as my
No,
husband.
you can.
Yes,
You
Yes.
can.
And also, it's also vice versa. That you can call me out, but it doesn't mean Uguti, the other has a final say.
That's
or,
true.
you know, it's a mutual thing. We're in a partnership.
Yeah.
The Bible says that the husband must love the husband as Christ loves the church, and the woman must submit to the husband as Christ submits to the church, right? The church has its flaws. The church has a lot of things going on, but Christ still submits to us. So that also, that's what we need to take when it comes to submission. That when you submit, you're not looking for flaws. You're not submitting because it's nice today. You're not submitting, and then tomorrow you're not going to say, I'm not going to submit because it's not nice in the relationship. Submission is not, it has nothing to do with food, as Karen was saying. Submission is literally going down to somebody and saying, okay, you are my priest, and I will submit under you. So that's one thing we need to understand, that's what submission is.
Okay.
I'm not saying...
We're busy talking about marriage. This
would
is the young single.
No,
And
we
I'm
don't
just
know
joking.
it.
I'm just
We
joking.
need to be taught as well. Because we
We're
need
talking
to
about
just
our
messing with
idea.
I know,
of
we need to
marriage.
unlearn a lot of things because also as single people, you need to
You
be...
go in with that mentality.
Yes, you need to be... First of all, as a man, you need to be a husband. You need to be a husband
You need
as
to be a
yourself
leader.
before you come to become my husband. You must be a husband yourself. You must come as a husband. I must not teach you how to husband.
The fact that your male does not
Can we add 3
automatically
minutes?
Yes.
and then does not automatically make you husband material
Thank
because
you.
you are male.
Thank you. And
What is that, Vele? Wife material, husband material.
I hate that statement so
There's no
much.
such thing.
I actually got so annoyed
I
by
think-
someone at work who said that. It's like, oh, your wife material. I'm like, what's that?
I hate that we make it seem like it's a general thing, but it's different for
It's
each
subjective.
person.
Exactly.
It's very
Yeah.
subjective.
My standards are not
Yeah,
the same
my,
as
exactly. It's
Exactly.
different for
Very
each
subjective.
But
person.
then also, I get when it comes to dating and marriage and everything, we need to be equally yoked. You're not going to be yoked with everybody.
Someone who's
So
not
that,
saved.
yeah. So that's why everyone has preference, even when it comes to marriage as well. I can't just marry anyone. That's where discernment comes into place. Is that person truly my husband, the one that God has set apart? Because the Bible says the two shall become one. Is this the person that is going to be my rib, my bone, my everything? That's one thing that we need to bear in mind.
So I asked for a few minutes, right?
Yes.
I just want to ask something, then we can wrap it up.
Sure.
Do you think God chooses a partner for you?
No.
I don't.
The funny thing is, I was conflicted about this just 2 weeks ago. I
Until-
was. Yeah.
How
and
can't it be 2 weeks?
no, it hasn't been 2 weeks. I had an epiphany about this.
Yes, ma'am.
Ago. It's interesting that you would ask that. I don't think God chooses a partner for you. I do think that if you involve God about the person that you have interest to, He can guide you in navigating the relationship,
Okay.
right? And because remember, we have been given the gift of free will.
Of free will.
That's true.
Yes.
So when you choose a partner and God gives you information about this partner and you still choose to be with them,
That's you.
that's
Okay.
you.
And-
And if you guys end up being married, God will still bless it.
Yes.
He will still bless you.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
That's where. Okay, can I say?
But he
You
does.
shut up,
'Cause-
Sas.
but remember,
God will bless you.
Remember what I said. He does give us guidelines.
Yes.
Like in the Bible, it says, "Do not be equally yoked with unbelievers." That's a guideline.
Yes.
That you. But if you choose still to go and marry someone who is not a
not in a-
Christian, that is your own baby.
That is your own baby.
And if you choose to marry him, he will bless you, and you have to submit
to that.
to that leadership.
Okay. One thing I learned, I had to. Last year, I went through a very bad breakup situationship.
2023, right?
Yeah.
I know.
So, so when that happened, I got to speak to another apostle, and then I was like, "Yo, man of God, I prayed about this relationship, and God confirmed that everything is going well." And then he was like, "Don't forget, He told me that you went to God with somebody in mind. When you pray for a relationship, you don't go to God with somebody in mind, because the same person you're praying for is a child of God. Why wouldn't God want them to have you?"
Exactly. I love that.
So I had to be, and then I was like, okay. He's like, no, if you truly want God to help you, guide you into the person that you're purposely given by God, then you need to pray for that person before you get into a relationship, and not with the person in mind.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because it's like
If it's like letting go, if you let go, God will give you
God will give you.
as you have asked.
Yes.
But if you want to take control,
Then
God is a
God
gentleman.
will still bless.
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
I
But
agree.
okay,
But
you've got to
there's the
figure it out.
perfect will
I
of God
agree.
and the permissive will of God.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
Yes.
God's will still be there. God's blessings will still be there. It's like Ishmael and Isaac.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I think as you grow up, you get to know yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you get to know the kind of people that you want in your life. So
Yeah.
you have certain characteristics that you want from a partner. And then you pray to God for that. You don't have a specific person,
Yes.
but you have a certain criteria. Ukuthi he should be kind, honorable, respectful.
Yes.
You know, those kind of things. Isn't that God showing us the partner that we need? Because isn't that process of God grooming us and teaching us, okay, Fulu, the person that you want, you now have, when you pray to God, please give me a man who's kind.
Can I?
Please give me a man who's this.
Okay, we need to wrap up, right? But yeah, it's a tricky conversation because sometimes I think we go to God already having the answers that, like, it's like we don't give God the space to do what He needs to do. We
And he's a
already go with,
gentleman.
yes, we already go with answers.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, God, I'm dating her, right? This is my person. Nyamchela. I'm not asking if this
You're
is
not asking, yeah.
the right person I'm supposed to be with. You're already going there with your final answers.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I mean, I get the idea of you guys already have a specific person in mind, but I'm talking about when now you're talking about characteristics.
But that is the fruits of the spirits. Everything you were.
That should be a
having.
given already.
Yeah, it's a given,
Yeah. But there are other stuff,
Yeah.
like, having money.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What?
But it's good to have desires.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't.
Not desires, I think preferences.
Yes, have a checklist to say I want my man to be like this. But sometimes God, like the way. Hey,
But don't
what
be
do I
too
wanna
hung
say?
up on it. I feel like don't be too hung up on it, because
On your
sometimes
preference, yeah.
God would bring the perfect person who would be able to love you,
But not in the
who would be
package.
able to lead
Not yes,
you.
not in the package. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
say.
not in the same package that you expect.
Yeah.
We're not
And
dark.
so don't be
Vienna is
too hung up
light.
on that list.
What do you mean package, guys?
Like, as in, like, so you find good that this person has certain characteristics that are complementary to the person that you are.
You want.
But you are so hung up on these other things that
What
you
if
don't
the other
realize the
thing
good
is
thing.
he's not born again? He doesn't know God.
No. God, that one.
No,
That one is
that's
a
for-
no.
But are you hearing what we're saying? That God is putting this person in front of you and saying, listen, here's a good guy. You've been praying for a partner. Here's a good guy.
Here's your man.
But he is not in the package that you have
Also,
been
the
praying
other
for.
things is like not having money.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
Like
for
a small thing
instance,
like that.
Small
You know?
things. You want a yellow bone.
And
He's dark.
He's dark.
You want a tall guy.
And he's short.
Exactly. You see? And now you're so hung up on that, you miss the good thing
You
in
miss
front
the
of you.
blessing,
And then you go
exactly.
and you marry this
Okay.
person who is going to lead
Who's
you into
tall
a
and
Who
complete...
has money but he
Yeah.
doesn't know God?
There'll be no peace.
And you know what, my darling? God will still bless that wedding.
Yo.
He will
Yeah.
still bless that marriage,
And you'll
because
still have to submit.
He gave us the gift of free will for a reason.
Thank you.
And He's a gentleman enough to bless you until you come to a realization, you go say, hey,
Baba Ziyakha.
Ziyakhala.
What do you do when you find
Yes.
yourself in a
Yeah.
Ziyakhala situation?
That's for
You pray for God's
that's for part
That's a part two.
That's
Yes,
for
that's
next
for part two. Yeah,
Okay.
guys, thank you so much for joining. Any remarks? Any final words?
Oh, we spoke about a lot. eh?
Hey.
Yeah.
We did. But on self-love and healing, spend time in your singlehood learning to love yourself.
Yes.
Understand how you perceive love, right? And practice that love to yourself. You can't expect another person to give you love that you don't give to yourself. The moment you give love to yourself, they'll reciprocate that same energy. And also spend time healing. Understand what your triggers are, and understand how you react to your triggers, and learn to manage that. Yeah.
Heal, guys. Please.
Poor
It's
Lani,
attractive. Yo.
Yo, guys,
Poor Lani.
heal.
Attractive.
Because, I've found myself in a situation where a guy was like, my ex used to do that. I don't like this. My ex used to. So, manje, I'm fighting the battles of people I don't even know.
Exactly.
Ngoba, you did not. Number one, you are not acknowledging the role that you played in your ex doing that.
So,
And you are not healing from it.
so,
Can you get to know me?
so.
And then decide, okay,
That's
fool,
so
I don't like
good.
it when you do 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
But don't put the burden of other people onto me.
Onto you
Heal.
as a belief.
Heal.
Yes.
Please.
Okay. In my closing, if you're battling with loving yourself, understand why God loves you. If you start working on that and you understand who you are in God, in Christ,
Blessed child.
then you will start to understand who you are and you'll love yourself better.
I love that. Understand how God loves you.
Yeah, for me. Oh, okay, sorry. For me, I think my final words would be, guys, heal, love yourself. And to many men out there, have a vision, know where you're heading to. Don't just bring in someone into your life not knowing where you're going. Know yourself. Yeah, you understand.
Unclear vision.
Because you lead in someone.
And then that is your
You understand?
You're going nowhere.
So just know yourself, love yourself, have a good relationship with God, because I feel like some of these things just come naturally when you have a very good relationship with God. And please heal, guys. Yo,
Heal.
Polan.
Yo,
Hashtag
heal.
Polan.
Heal.
please heal.
More
But yeah, I think there's a lot of things to talk about,
Yeah.
concerning relationships. But for the sake of time, we'll do this another time. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much. I think Karen should say the closing remarks.
You didn't rehearse it. It's okay.
No, I'm not gonna do.
Thank you so much for hosting this episode. Asha
Yeah,
Unashamed.
yeah.
I can't click. I was gonna do the click for you.
We'll do it.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. Please share this podcast with as much people as you can. Join in on the conversation on our Instagram, as well as on our community on WhatsApp through our YSS open chats.
Yes.
And subscribe to our community for the weekly devotions.
Yeah.
Until our next episode. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Love y'all.
Peace out.